right, Dolphin fans, here we go. Tyreek gets arrested outside the stadium before game one. That's a good omen. I'm happy on this hand. I'm happy that he's playing. On the other hand, I have Jalen Waddle on my fantasy team. So for about a minute there, I was like, oh, well, it is what it is. I don't know the intricate details of that, and I am going to keep all of my politically incorrect thoughts and comments about that situation to myself. So let's play some football. Now, if you're watching this video, the odds are that you've watched Dolphin content this entire offseason and you know all the things that you need to know about Tua and Tyreek and the offensive line. Okay, right? And the defense, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. You tell me, all right? We got a new coordinator. We got new guys, and then we're going to have other guys coming back. I don't know, right? Some years we're told the defense is going to be lights out, and then not so much. And then some years we think the defense is going to be crap, and it is crap. So either way, probably in for some kind of a surprise. Now, in terms of this game here, I've been telling Kyle this, and I don't really have any reason to say this or to believe this other than my own intuition. But he has been talking about wanting to start Tua, but also thinking about he's happy he's got Raheem Mostert. And my, let's just say the puppets told me I would not be surprised to see a lot of running in this game. I don't know why, but I kind of feel like Mike McDaniel wants to make a statement of sorts. And not every pass is going to be F it, Tyreek is down there. And maybe he wants to show that he has grown as a coach a little bit more running, no bubble screens on 3rd and 2, especially no bubble screens on 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3, hand the ball off to Mostert, 1st down. 2nd and 3 is not when you throw the ball 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and pray Tyreek can break a tackle. It's not usually... Stop. So I have a feeling that might be what we see here. Now, in terms of Jacksonville, the only team that crapped the bed more at the end of the season than Miami was Jacksonville because they crapped away an actual playoff spot. So the weather is not going to be a real advantage because Jacksonville, in case you don't know, is in Florida as well. So it's going to be hot versus hot. It is going to be a 1 o'clock game. So considering the fact that Tyreek already had a little bit of extra activity before the game, I wouldn't be surprised if he's running for an IV after the first quarter because he's cramping up because he's built like if Joey Swole could run like to win, that's what Tyreek is like. So it is what it is. It takes a lot of water to keep all those muscles fresh. I understand. That said, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And look, last thing I'll say is that a lot of talk about those last 6 games of the year. And rightfully so. But Jacksonville and then Buffalo on Thursday ain't exactly cupcakes. We could easily play okay and start the season off 0-2, which I don't want us to start the season off 0-2. I would like, however, to be able to rent the movie that's titled Twitter if the Dolphins start 0-2. I just want to watch that and be like, nah, we'll take that back. Take it back to Blockbuster. Hopefully the Dolphins are going to win today. Let's go. All right, so it's 7-0 Jacksonville after first quarter. That was a fantastic quarter for the Dolphins, except for the fact that Tua missed Tyreek wide open for a touchdown, and then Tua keeps throwing a sideline pass to Tyreek when he's not open, and the defense allowed a 96-yard touchdown drive. Other than that, it's fantastic. They look just like the championship Panthers. All right, so 17-7 Jacksonville at half. Now, it is the first half of the first game. And I have not seen the rest of the game yet. You have. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if the Dolphins continue to play like this, like they have in this first half, do you think we win 6 games this year? So, the offense. We did get a touchdown there at the end. Boy, watching this offense try to move the ball down the field is like watching a woman give birth to twins after she's been in labor for about 48 hours. It's hard. We ain't fooling anybody with the bubble screens, They're not leaving Tyreek wide open all over the field except for the one time when Tua wildly overthrew him. Jalen Wallace caught the ball a couple of times. Durham Smythe can't catch anymore. Jonnu Smith played a little bit in the beginning. He made a couple of mistakes, and then again you'll put Smythe in, and he can't catch the ball. And the offensive line has been okay. Tua's had some time, but there's too much dancing by the running backs. Mostert especially, and Achando, they're getting the ball when it's a handoff, and they're kind of just like standing there waiting for there to be a block or some kind of a hole. They're not just hitting the hole and trying to make it happen. So the running game does not look good. Nothing on offense has looked good. We got a touchdown, and of course the defense immediately gives up a field goal within 1 minute. Jacksonville had 1 minute, and they get a field goal. And so now 17-7. Now, let's put it this way. If the offense doesn't figure itself out, we ain't winning 6 games. The concerning part is the defense. They're just getting shredded. There's no nice way to put it. They're just getting shredded. Whenever Jacksonville needs a throw over the middle, I guess we're playing some kind of zone. It's bad. It's bad. It's not like not good. There's good, then not good, and there's bad. Right now, the Dolphins' defense is bad. The Dolphins' offense is not good. That's about 6 wins. Now, it's only one half. We could come out in the second half, and everything could be sunshine and rainbows again, but I don't know. You know, we saw this towards the end of last season as defenses started to figure out what McDaniel and Tua and Tyreek, they started to figure us out. It became more difficult for us to score points. This looks like a continuation of the end of last year, especially the first drive. The play calling is the same. I see nothing new. I see no new wrinkles except for not really even trying to barely use the middle of the field. I don't know what we're doing. It ain't good. Let's put it that way. So, we'll move on. I'll see you again after the third quarter. But it has to get better, right? It has to get better. All right, so it's the end of the third quarter. It is 17-14. This game was inches away from being over. Jacksonville shoved the ball down our throat, and right as Etienne's running it into the end zone, Javon Holland punches it out. I think it was Cater that recovers it right at the back of the end zone. Next play, Tua to Tyreek for 80 yards. And just like that, is 17-14. We do not deserve to be only down by 3, but we are only down by 3. This is going to be a hell of a fourth quarter. Let's go. All right. The Dolphins overcome their own incompetence. That was Kyle's line at the end of the stream. 20-17. Jason Sanders nails was a 54-yard field goal as time expires. And there's just lots here. Defense did not look good in that first half. The defense looked really good in the second half. Jalen Phillips with an important sack. Obviously, you already know about the fumble and everything. I mean, Jacksonville had the game. The game's over. Etienne scores. It's 24-7. The game is over at that point, right? And we get the one play. Tyreek, 80 yards. And Jacksonville goes for it on fourth down from their own 30, 33 or something like that. They don't get it, and we managed to get zippity-doo-dah out of the entire thing, and we overcame our own incompetence. So we'll take it. We won. New England beat Cincinnati 16-10. Buffalo came back and beat Arizona, so everybody's 1-0, and then of course the Jets play tomorrow night. Now, the one thing you saw in this game that I will give McDaniel kudos for is that as Mostert and Achane got worn out, he brought in Jeff Wilson Jr. for the fourth quarter. Mwah! Chef's kiss. Worked perfectly, having a guy with fresh legs. You saw he was excited. He converted a couple of times for us right when we needed it. The defense, for all of the new names, it was Jalen Phillips, it was Agba, it was Holland, it was Cater. All right, those were the guys that made the plays out there today. Now, a couple other guys had some plays, but the big plays that turned the game was the guys that we had from last year. Now, I'm still not all that impressed. I don't know if we were going man-to-man and then zone and going back and forth, but at some points in the game, even in the second half a little bit, there was just too much cushion being given to the wide receivers. I don't know why we're going to do that. It just never makes any sense. It just seems like it's Russian roulette. Not Russian roulette. Like sometimes, we can stop them real quick, and then the next drive, it's like, boom. Like there's no defense. Like we switch back and forth. I don't know. We kind of look at the highlights and see what the hell we're doing. It was definitely not the same type of defense we've been used to. Remember last year, Fangio was going to get rid of the zero blitz, and he kind of did, but then he kind of realized at points where he had to rely on that blitz. I didn't see much of that today. Today was kind of straightforward, a little bit vanilla. Good thing we played Jacksonville. Good thing we played Jacksonville. They looked about it as incompetent as we did a little bit. Now, Tua did not have a good game. He had the one good play to Tyreek, 80 yards, touchdown. Tyreek makes the catch and just says, screw it, now runs everybody. Other than that, he did miss Tyreek wide open at one point. He did have some good connections with Waddle, but there were definitely several missed opportunities. It looks like, again, it's only one game. I mean, it kind of looks a little bit like we're not depending so much on the timing routes. You know what I mean? There was not so many. I don't even think I saw one of like the quick slants. I think we might have had one to Waddle. Still too much with the bubble screens and the passes behind the line of scrimmage. That is the one thing that killed us last year. I had hoped that McDaniel had watched some film and thought, how about if on 2nd and 3, if I threw the ball past the line of scrimmage? I had kind of hoped he had figured that out. He did not. He is going to, for those of you who lived through the Jimmy Johnson era, when it was 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, regardless of past experiences, what was he going to do? He was going to hand the ball off to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar into 2 yards of dust and hope that we got a first down. It's the same thing here with McDaniel. If it's 2nd and 3, he's going to throw that freaking bubble screen. Now, we did have the one that worked to Achan early on, but for every one that works like that, we get 5 where it's 2nd and 3, now it's 3rd and 6. And it just he does not get discouraged at all. It's like, it didn't work last time, do it again. Didn't work again, do it again. Like, there's no light bulb that's turning on in the guy's head that thinks, I wonder what would happen if we threw the ball past the line of scrimmage. It's really something that's incredible to watch. This is his 3rd season now, and that portion of the complaint with the bubble screen, it's not changing. It's not changing. Now, Jonnu Smith, it looked like he was going to be involved a lot, right? Big, tall number 9. Like in the first couple series, he was all over the place. Not so good. He made some mistakes. He was having a little bit of a rough day, and we never saw him again. And then Smythe came in, and he dropped a couple passes. And then they did get one pass off to Julian Hill. So I think McDaniel wants to use the tight end a little bit more, but it's a work in progress. Whatever that offense was supposed to be, that was a work in progress. Now, it's week 1, so we don't know. Is the Jacksonville defense really good? Or is the offense really, like I said at halftime, it kind of looks like a continuation of last season, where if we're playing a team that's a bubble playoff team or a crap team, we are likely to win. But if we put that effort out there against a Kansas City or a Baltimore or a Philadelphia or one of those teams, we're likely to get smacked just like we did at the end of the season against the Chiefs. But all that said, a win is a win, and we will take it. We will absolutely take it. Now, I don't want anybody worrying about Jason Sanders and that missed field goal. If you watch the replay, I caught this when it happened. His plant foot slips. So usually when a professional kicker misses a kick that wide, something happened. If you watch the replay, his plant foot just goes zzz, and it's kind of a miracle he kept himself upright and was even able to kick the ball at that point. Trying to think if there was anything else that we saw. Mostert looked a little bit tired towards the end of the game, but he's 32. He's not a kid. Achan, Wilson, Good combination. Happy with that. Jalen Wright was inactive. I don't understand that. At one point, we had Tyreek back there returning the kick. I'm not a fan of that either. And that's it. Dolphins get the first win of the year in the first game. And now, to be honest, if I'm the Dolphins, I know they're not going to do this. I wouldn't even practice. Like, it's Sunday, right? You got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they play again Thursday night. Now, I don't have high hopes again in that game Thursday, and I'm going to tell you why. Yes, both Miami and Buffalo played right now. Yes, Buffalo has to travel. But Buffalo did not just bake in the 90, 100-degree, heat on the field, right? So Buffalo is going to come in a little bit fresher. Now, Buffalo did come back. They won their game. Looks like their offense is rolling. Josh Allen is rolling a little bit. So I'm not saying we can't win the game, but if we put that effort out there, might not be such a good day on Thursday night. And we may, we're going to have a worse time of it. If I'm McDaniel, like I said, I would tell the guys, go home, rest and recover, and I'll see you Thursday night for the game. I would just send them like a PowerPoint presentation of here's the place. I wouldn't even put them outside in the sun. I would tell them to just stay home in the air conditioning and drink a lot of Gatorade and shit, because it's hot out there. There's no way around it. All right. That does it for the first one of the year. We'll want to know. That's what matters. That's what matters. The first half was bad. First half was bad. I think we can all admit that. The defense pitched a shutout in the second half, and I have a feeling we're going to need that. If this offense can't figure itself out, we're going to need the defense to do what it did here in the second half, but they did it, so it's done.